Hey everybody, we've had a week off now and we're going into our third week of our digital learning, and this week we're adding our Letterland back in. So I'm going to do our lesson with Unit 17, the Foot Twins, and so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at Letterland, and right here we have the Foot Twins and we're going to look at the sounds they make.
Oh.
Okay, and then we're going to listen to the story about it.
When the boot twin takes the foot twin's boots and the foot twin accidentally steps in a puddle, he cries out, "Ugh, just look at my foot!" Look, the boot and foot twins are in the kitchen. The foot twin has a new cookbook. Can you see the cookbook on the wooden table? He was going to bake some cookies, but the boot twin has stolen his boots again. The foot twin steps in a puddle and says, "Ugh, just look at my foot."
Okay, now a sound very similar to this is a combination with E and W. Here's the sound.
Ooh or you.
And here's the story.
Eddie Elephant knows Walter Walrus loves to tease. To stop him, he squirts water right at him. Walter is so surprised, he cries out, "Ooh, you!" Walter and Eddie are on the deck of a new ship. A crew member is busy handing out a few bags of cashew nuts. There's a lovely view, and there's a man interviewing a lady in jewels for the news. The steward is bringing them some delicious stew. You would think Walter and Eddie would be happy, but oh no, Eddie just blew some more water at Walter. "Ooh, you!"
Okay, we have another combination we're looking at this week, and it's the vowel team of U and E. Here's the sound they have.
You.
And here is their story.
Occasionally, Mr. U and Mr. E go out walking, and Mr. U does all the talking. He just says his name, U, while Mr. E remains silent as he looks out for dangerous robots. Today, they are out walking along Bluebell Avenue. What can you see on Bluebell Avenue? Can you see the kitten that needs to be rescued? Can you see some blue paint and some glue? What can you do on Bluebell Avenue on Tuesday?
Okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put in another combination of letters we're looking at this week. Let's listen to the sound.
All.
And let's hear the story.
Giant All is so tall that all you can see of him in words are his two long legs. He strides into words and grabs apples, then calls out his last name, All. He's not the only one calling out. There's also a boy by the waterfall calling his dog, but his dog is chasing a ball. Maybe he got the ball from that stall or the hold all. Can you spot another small boy in the picture? Yes, there he is, falling from the climbing frame. We all need to be careful not to fall.
Okay. I'm going to go back. Now, what we have is we're going to still take a test, but we're going to be doing it through another website called Spelling City, and your teacher's going to set up each class in there, and you'll have activities assigned to you. I'm going to show you that later. But right now, we're going back in to look at the thing that we've done in the past, and it's quick coding words. So we're going to look back and review steps for quick coding. The first thing we do is dot the vowels with a red dot. Second, we circle any prefixes and suffixes. Next, we box the consonant digraphs, two consonants that make a new sound when they're together. 4, we make a rail car for each syllable, a train car for each syllable in the word. And when we do that, remember, we don't include prefixes and suffixes, just the base word. Then on the 5th step, we identify the syllable type with its initial. C for closed, O for open, R for R controlled, and B for vowel teams. Then 6, we code the vowel sounds. We look at what we did here, and then we come up and we do the breve or the macron, whatever is going on with what vowel type it is. And 7, we read the word. Okay? So now I'm going to go into something called word detectives, and we have 3 sentences. I'm going to do an example in each sentence, and then I'm going to give you something for you to do to let your teacher know how you've done with your quick coding. The first sentence is, I drew a few pictures, but my goat chewed them all up. So in this one, we're looking at the EW words. So I'm going to do the first one, drew. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to take a look and see what I'm supposed to do first. And it's dot the vowels. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to dot the E, because that's the vowel, A, E, I, O, and U. The next step is to circle any prefixes or suffixes. So this is just a base word, so I have no circling in this one. So I will skip that step and I'll go to the next one, which is box any consonant digraphs. And I have the only consonant side by side is D and R, but I still hear D and R. So they don't make a new sound. We still hear their individual sounds. So I won't do anything for that. Now we're ready for number 4, which means to make a train car for each syllable. So I'm just going to say the word drew. And it's just 1. So I'm going to make my train car go underneath it. Okay. The next step is to identify the syllable type with its initial. Well, this week we're looking at vowel teams. E and W is considered to be a vowel team. So I will mark that with a V below it for the vowel team. Okay, go back to my list. This list for your quick coding steps will be somewhere on our worksheet link on Clever. I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, now we're going to code the vowel sounds. We know it's a vowel team, so now we go to coding. And this is something a little bit new because this is a vowel team with E and W. And they're doing with a sound that has to do with water, where Eddie Elephant is putting water and spraying it in Walter Morris's face. So to do that, you're going to draw a drop of water around the E and the W. Okay. I didn't want this to have any feel in it, so I want no feel. There we go. And that's how you code E and W when they go ooh. So here I have the word few highlighted. You need to get a piece of paper, and I want you to write the word few, and you do your coding of it. You can look back and see how I've done mine. To do it with your word, it'd be very similar. And you also will have the access to the quick coding list that I showed you earlier. And I'll show you where you can get to that. So now we're going to go to our second sentence. Is it true that glue can be blue? Okay, we're going to do the word true right now. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to dot my vowels. Then I circle. If I've got any prefixes or suffixes, this true is just a base word, so I don't do any of that. Then I need to box any consonant digraphs. I have T and R side by side, but I still hear the T and the R, tr. So they are not making a brand new sound separate from what they do on their own. So this is not a true digraph, so I will not do any boxing there. The next thing is to do a train car. True, true. I just hear one syllable. So I'll come and do my train car. One syllable. Next thing is to code it. And we know this is a vowel team. U and E are two vowels working together. There we go. So I code it with the V for a vowel team. The next thing I need to do is I need to code it. I hear Mr. U, so above it, since it's a long vowel sound, I need to put a macron, which is just a straight line over the top of it. This one's not a very dark one, so let me make it be a little bit thicker. Now with the E, it is silent. So when we have a silent letter like that and they're working together, we slash through the silent letter. So we don't hear it. Okay. And our last thing, I forgot to do it up here on Drew, is we say the word true. So that's how we code ones where we have the vowel team UE. You have blue highlighted in your, for this sentence for you. So on a piece of paper, please write down the word blue and you do your coding, just as you did few in this one. Now in our last sentence, we have, I took all the cookbooks and put them in on the wooden bookshelf. Here we're doing the OO with the foot twins. So we're going to work on the word cookbooks. First thing is we are to dot all our vowels. So we have a lot of O's. So we're going to dot all our O's. Next thing we're going to look and see if we have any prefixes or suffixes. Cook and book are two separate words, but they're not a prefix or a suffix. They're just a compound word. The S is a suffix. So here we would be circling it. We're going to circle the S. Don't want any fills, so let me get that out. Okay. Our next step is, are there any digraphs to box? The only thing we have is K and B together, but we hear the K and we hear the B in their own sounds. K and S are side by side, but we hear the K and the S and the S. So they are not a digraph making a brand new sound. So we don't do any boxing here. The next thing we need to do is we need to do our, from the base word only, not the suffix, do our train cars. So how many syllables are in cookbook? Cookbook. There's two. So we have cook, we have book. Remember, when we have a prefix or suffix, they're not included. It's a little bit long, so that's not really including the S right there. The next thing we need to do is we need to code what type of vowels they are, what type of syllable each of these are. Up here we only had one syllable words, so we only needed to do one. Here we got to code this syllable, and we need to code this one. And we know we're working with vowel teams, so we'll do a V for vowel teams. And this one is a neat one. You have two O's going and there's the foot twins. So how you code this is you draw a foot above the there. Uh-oh, I didn't want that to happen. I did the same thing again, didn't I? Well, he does not want to go over there, does he? Let me see if I can move him up first. Okay, well, I'm not going to mess with it, but I would be putting the other foot above the O's right here. And that's how you would code these right here. I'm not sure what all's happened right here. A lot of things have moved from where I had them. But now we're going to say our last thing, which is we are going to say the word. Now that we're finished with all the coding. So let's go ahead and do this. Cookbooks. And for this sentence, you're going to do the word took and the word wooden and code those following the rules. So we're going to have to do it for few, blue, took, and wooden. All right? Okay. Now, another thing we want to do is when you're ready to work on that, you can replay this video again, and I'm going to show you where you can go and find the quick coding directions on our worksheet link on your teacher page with Clever. So now we're going to look at spelling city. So I'm going to go back to share, and I'm going to close this down, and we're finished with this. And we're going to go to where you would go to Clever. You'll go to teacher page. Whoops, I hit the wrong thing. And right here you have spelling city. And it should look, you should look for this. Most of yours should maybe have an icon like this. And when you get to here, you'll need to click on log in. And you are a student, so make sure you've clicked on student and it has a check. And your first login will be your first and last name, no caps. I've got myself set up as a student in my class, so that's why I'm doing this. Then your password will be the first initial of your first name. So I just typed in R, and then all of your last name with no spaces and no capitals. And then you will log in. And you'll come to a page that looks like this. Make sure your teacher's name is correct right here. And right here it'll tell, now that's your name. Then up here is where your teacher name will be, Robin Nedry's class. And then I'm the student in that class. So what you're not going to have anything on records until you do your first unit. So we're going to go to lists and games. And I have a lot of lists, but you're going to look for 17A, Letterland Grade 2, Unit 17A, Letterland Grade 2. And you can view the words. And if you look, you'll see the word, and right behind it is a little symbol of a speaker.
Woods.
And when you click on it, you'll hear them say the word. So you'll look at all your words, and you'll see a lot of them have the EW, the OO, UE, and down here you'll see the ALL. All these words follow what we've been already looked at when we were looking at our cards. So I'm going to click View again, and it'll close it up. Now, I'm going to stop share. I'll come back to this in a second because I want to share you with something else with you. We have right here activities in assignment. On Monday, you're going to look at word videos and which letter team. And I'm going to show you how to get to those in a second. This will also be available for you to see on the worksheet page. Tuesday, you'll do Silly Bulls, Wordorama. Wednesday, you'll do Test and Teach and Crossword. Thursday, you'll do a practice spelling test online, and then Aim to Spell is a fun game to play. Then on Friday, there's a spelling test me. I want you to click that. We don't have anything with your words in front of you, and don't get any help from anyone. They will say the word, and you are to type it in, and that's how we'll get your grade for your spelling test this week. Okay, I'm going to stop the share, and then I'm going to go back to Spelling City. I'm going to show you where these are, okay? Let me find my list on paper so I'll go to the right ones to show you in the right order. Here it is, okay? So the first thing is study. And on Monday, you're supposed to do the word videos. You would click it here under study. Study's like the beginning of it. And then on which letter team, you'll go to games. And you will go and see it. It's the second one right here. You will go to this one, okay? Then on Tuesday, you have Silly Bulls, and it's syllables with silly bulls. Get it? Syllables with silly bulls. It's a fun game to play. I tried it out. So you'll do that on Tuesday. And then Word-O-Rama. Okay. Now we've done this in my homeroom, and we've had just limited, but now we've got all kinds that have opened up. Here's Word-O-Rama. You have to go down a few rows, and you'll just click that one. So that's the second one for Tuesday. On Wednesday, we need to find Test and Teach. Right here. It's almost right in the middle. Test and Teach. You'll do that one right below the Silly Bulls. You do that one on Wednesday, and then Crossword. Right here on the very bottom in the middle. You'll do that on Wednesday. On Thursday, you'll need to take a practice spelling test. Okay. Looking for that too. Okay, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they call that one Spelling Teach Me. Okay. And then Aim to Spell. I played that game, and that was a fun game to play. Aim to Spell. It's a little different from being on the teacher page in this one, and that's why I'm having, right here it is, trouble finding it because it's a different place than when it's on the teacher page. Then on Friday, the Spelling Test Me. This is what you click on Friday. I'm going to show you. You can only take the test once per list, so be very sure you're ready for the test. You can still take a practice test with this list. So right here is a practice test. If you want to take that first before you do the real test, let me show you how it goes.
Get ready for the practice test. Don't forget your list. Begin.
Woods. We saw nothing but trees in the woods.
Okay, and if you need them to repeat the word, you click it here. If you need the sentence repeated,
we saw nothing but trees in the woods.
When you're ready, woods. I want to type it in. I'll make sure I'm okay with it, and I'll click
Blue.
next.
The
blew the papers off my desk.
Okay, and then I would do that and you go all the way through. Here's showing you when you've got them done. Let's say I'm at the end and I want to go back. If I want to go back to any of the other words, I'm not sure if you get to click here to go back,
In the
or
white box, spell
or if you click back. You can click the back button and it takes you back. So if you go, oh, I missed something, you can click this back button down at the bottom and go back to the other word. Okay, so I'm going to go out of this. I just wanted to show you that. And then the real test would be very similar to that practice, but you only can do that one time. Okay. All right, so this is what you do with spelling city. And this is how we're going to get our spelling tests. So, wanted to share that with you. Okay. So that's it for the Letterland. If you have any questions, just like we have been doing it in the past few weeks, send an email to your teacher or a remind message. And that's what we're here for. And good luck. And I hope you enjoy these fun Letterland activities that we've got online this week. Have a good week and talk to you later.